Hello, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Helping the World Sleep Better, a free public service YouTube channel that I've set up purely around the coronavirus COVID 19 and to support anybody anywhere across the world, adults or children from any walk of life, to help you support yourself in achieving a good night's sleep. My name is Emma Woolrich, and I do run different groups. I set this up purposely as my way of giving back. I have a number of different meditation style practices that have been registered under their own trademark in Australia. And I have clients who have achieved really remarkable things following my meditation style practices and going from 2 or 3 hours sleep a night to 6 or 7 just from following some simple practices. What I promised and I pledged just over a week ago is that I would come here live every day with some practical, pragmatic, and useful quick hints and tips that you could actually follow, that you could implement instantaneously tonight when you go to sleep. So please feel free, have a look back over all of the different ones that have taken place so far. Each of them have got a little title to give you an indication, and each of them are under 15 minutes. So they're a really short watch, a really quick way of allowing yourself to try out some different methods. And regardless of whether you have an amazing sleep routine already, or whether this whole entry into this uncertain time when we're with the coronavirus right now, if you are experiencing a change, an interruption to your sleep routine, and you're simply looking for something else to try out at this time, then again, please feel free, come and use any of these days in this library in any order that you find useful for you. And of course, if you find this is useful, please pop a comment below. We're coming to you live every day. Please be aware that your comments shouldn't be mentioning any names. This is a public channel, and I will come back here and answer any comments. Please feel free to come and join in the community that is building this beautiful global sleep movement at the moment over in a public Facebook group, Helping the World to Sleep Better. So I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not a sleep psychologist, but what I am aware of is that there are a number of different factors that support any individual in achieving a beautiful restorative sleep and waking up feeling calm, feeling energized, feeling refreshed. And there's a number of precursors that I have established over the last 4 years that actually need to be in place or need to be consciously considered by you before you go into your sleep routine. So, what I want to touch upon tonight is delta waves. And for everybody who's watching right now saying, what's a delta wave? That's really what I want to get across tonight and allow you to do some further research based on some of the things that I'm going to talk about. So, as we know, our brains produce wave patterns, and at various stages of our life, we spend more time in one of those stages of brain patterns than another. So, for instance, when we're born, we spend a lot of time actually laying down a lot of foundations in our brain, neuroplasticity, and we're learning. Our brain is forming and constantly making connections. As we start to get a little bit older, then we spend more time in other parts of brain pattern activity. Why are delta waves so important? There are 5 stages of sleep, and delta waves is the third stage of sleep. And I'm going to be bringing on board a number of different experts in very specific sleep science subjects over the next few weeks. And I'm not going to go into detail because A, I'm not actually equipped to do that, but I do know the very basics, and this is how I explain it to my clients when they understand what's happening for them and why things are working better for them when they follow some of my practices I recommend. So, what we are always trying to do is get the mind and the body to be in sync so that together we can achieve this beautiful sleep routine. If you think about your brain running on patterns, and you'll know this, busy mums, busy dads, busy adults, busy children. If you are running to your sleep routine, literally, and you've just been gaming all day, or you've had those big problems going around in your mind, your brain waves are constantly in this high velocity brainwave pattern. So when we talk about people who can't switch off, who can't achieve a sense of calm, what we're saying is the brainwave is frenetically over here doing this. And what we want to achieve is this beautiful, slow, deep wave in our brain. And there are a number of ways that we can do that. We can consciously recognize when we're in a stressed environment, when we know we're still figuring things out, and we can try and consciously reduce that just by actually allowing ourselves to recognize we're in that state. Or what we can do is we can use other factors to help to influence our brain wave slowing down. And all of this and all of the conversations I've been having with people in our public Facebook group over the last week have been about, how do I switch off? How do I slow myself down? And again, I'm going to be interviewing a number of experts around this very topic. So for me, delta waves is the third stage of sleep, and you can research this and read all about this. The third stage of sleep, and it's a very specific hertz. So the brainwave pattern is measured on this hertz frequency, Hz. And delta waves take place between 0 and 4 hertz, which is really low. It's like almost like a drum beat, and it's really deep vibrational sound. So if you imagine just thinking to yourself the sort of sounds that you listen to when you feel the most relaxed. Is it a high pitched sound, or is it a low thrumming sound? And is it something that is very punchy? Is it something with a lot of beats, or is it something with very slow beats? And just thinking about it like that starts to allow you consciously to recognize the sounds, the music that you naturally are inclined to go and listen to when you want to relax yourself versus when you want to be sort of like lifted up and you want to feel uplifted and energized, and you're listening to something with more of a beat. You're listening to something with more of a wave to it. And this is what the sound waves are about. And our brain waves are literally rhythmically aligned with the thought patterns that are going on in your mind from any millisecond to any millisecond. So if you imagine delta waves are this third stage of sleep, we've got this pattern where our body is doing certain activities at each stage of our sleep. I'm not going to go into each of those stages right now. I want to concentrate on that third stage of delta waves. Now, delta waves are the period of your sleep where you are having the deepest, most restorative part of your sleep routine. And if you imagine that generally most people are having between 7 and 9 hours sleep a night, and then just looking at this one small part, the important aspect is it's not the actual length of delta waves, it's the quality that you have in achieving the delta waves. So I want to introduce to you today, if you've not experienced this before, I would love for you to go away and do your own Googling on delta waves and find a couple of different things. The first thing I would recommend to you is to find what a delta wave actually sounds like in a piece of music. And if you can Google this, you can go on Spotify, you can go on YouTube, but Find your own delta wave, deep sleep music that resonates, and I'm using this word specifically, that resonates with you. And again, for anybody who here is new to meditation, just simply sitting or lying down, listening to that type of music with delta waves that are in the background is already helping your body and your mind come into sync and allowing your brain waves to actually start to attune to a delta wave. That is already giving your brain a signal to say, start releasing chemicals to allow me to slow down. And a lot of people I've been speaking to in the public group have been saying that before they started doing meditation and using music in this way, they were taking serotonin, which obviously was helping the brain reduce its brain waves and come into this beautiful sleep entry. So it's just giving you different avenues, different options of how to bring your mind and body into sync so that you can achieve this amazing part of your sleep routine, delta waves. There's a number of different frequencies I want to share with you over the coming days and weeks. But to start with, let's start with the one that's the most important, delta waves. If you can reach delta wave sleep effortlessly, easily, and with minimal intervention, and music is probably one of the beautiful ways that you can do that, then that is what I would positively encourage you to now add and layer in to your sleep routine. And you can do this at any point during the day. You don't have to be going to sleep. If you just want 5 minutes to calm yourself down, if you feel anxiety rising within you, and to be fair, there's a lot to be stressed about in the world right now, going and just plugging in the earphones and listening to this, anything with delta waves in the background will work. Try this out for 5 or 10 minutes a day. You don't need to listen to hours of this, and just report back and see how this is working for you. Layer in any of the other hints and tips from any of the other days that have come before. Until then, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Bye.